Hello, hello everyone. It's been a little while. Life has been very, very busy in a good, really good way. So I hope things are all well with you. My gosh, there's a lot going on, isn't there? And of course, they will always come through with messages when there is a lot going on. So they've got quite a bit to say that I've sort of gathered together from various messages that they've been bringing through during this period of time. So let's get on with it. Oh, I should also say, if you're new to the channel, please do like and most importantly subscribe, and then you'll get to know when there's other messages, and it just helps get their messages out there as well. So thank you, I'm very grateful. Right, so yes, they were talking about, and they've been talking a lot lately about the speed at which energies are changing, and in particular, the speed at which we are healing and things are coming up for healing. And this is really why we can feel quite overwhelmed at times. As these whole processes are speeding up, we're kind of like, it's very different from how we've been living our lives before, and we're noticing that shift and change. Yeah, hence that feeling of overwhelm, perhaps. Okay, so it's well, normal for the times. Let's put it that way. You're not alone. So the other sort of theme that they've been talking about is our sense of identity, and how that is changing, and not to be, we're being invited not to identify with the past and be defined by the past. Now, as we've talked about before, this raises questions about how we consider time and how we experience time. So, on the one hand, they've said that time is like a spiral, and that, if we cut through that, everything's happening at once, and, all of this. But as human beings, as a race on this planet, we experience time in a linear way. So we've created that reality. All right, so both realities are true in a way, okay? However, on one of the other videos, I can't remember which one it was now, but I think it was the one about timelines, and the question came up, do other races experience timelines in the same way that we do? So as part of the conversations that we've been having together, they answered that. And they said yes. Do higher dimensions experience time differently? Yes, they do. So the way they explained it is that it changes. I mean, obviously they're not all on the same dimension. Okay, so we sort of tend to lump them together, but actually different races are operating within different dimensions, and some go between dimensions, or many of them go between dimensions. Okay, so yes, they do experience it differently because they are aware of all that is, and they live in that awareness, they embody that awareness. So they can move through and even experience different timelines at once, which is difficult for us to comprehend, perhaps. So we're coming into an awareness now that there are timelines, that there are different realities that we can choose, different outcomes, and that we can change which timeline we are experiencing according to our decisions and the energy that we're carrying. Okay, but they are living in a way that is much more aware of all of those possibilities happening at once, and they can move in between different timelines quite easily. Again, some. So their perspective and their sense of their own identity is expanded. Yeah. So we're just coming into an awareness again of our multidimensionality, and that there are parts of our soul that are outside this human experience. Whereas for them, okay, they're just using the phrase, it's old hat. So for them, they are, it's a given that they understand all of that. And so therefore, yes, their sense of identity is based around that. So they're not really preoccupied in the same way that we are with how they're perceived by the external things. So as human beings, we've been very much caught up in terms of our social programming, and our relationships in terms of how another perceives us, or how we are perceived by society, or how we are perceived by the institutions that govern our society, and all of that. They don't experience that, because that's not the reality that they live in, and that's not their truth that they embody. So they just, that's not what is going on there. So hence it's very freeing, really. Is how the word that they used. So anyway, all that being said, answering that question, so they said, but a similar, this process of this rapid healing and also clearing karma that's accumulated as a race on our planet. This is what we're, and also shifting our sense of identity and letting go of how the ways that we've identified ourselves in the past. This is what will all eventually move us as a race into the new. So for now, the healing and the letting go of attachment to the past, and a rigid view of ourselves and our identity as a fixed sort of defined sum of our experiences in life, that's what we're moving out of, okay, and that's what will move us on. So yeah, as a process, it is uncomfortable, there's no doubt about it. And they say there's a veritable sorry, I could put my teeth in, veritable procession of energies, realizations, memories, wounds, beliefs, programming that is like, just coming at us all the time. So it's kind of that thing where you think, oh, I've dealt with that, I've got over that, got a handle on that, cleared that, and then whoop, another thing, but that's okay. And it is that speed. We can all feel it, can't we? Just the speed. Okay, and as these things come up, for healing, they're coming up for recognition and then to be dissolved as energies, because they're no longer true. They're no longer true. As we move into an understanding of our multidimensionality, they're no longer true as we shift into that greater knowledge of who we are, who we really are. And they don't resonate with us anymore. They don't serve a positive purpose for us moving forward, so they're coming up to be let go. Okay, not required where we're going. So they said there is also, as this is all happening, the possibility of falling into disappointment, of a feeling, a feeling of disappointment as we realise that we've kind of been duped, really. And that we've given our power away to, what did they say? Given our power away to external authorities, okay, things outside ourselves. And we shift into recognising that actually our power and true power actually only lies within. And what we've been doing this whole time is giving our power away to external constructs, okay, that we've all kind of bought into and that therefore created. But they said that's a good thing. So, and there's so much light that is flooding in to assist us, that is revealing the dark energy wherever it resides, and exposing, and also another function is that it's energizing us to, or giving us strength, if you like, to move through and to meet the physical and emotional and mental demands of doing this work. Sorry, that's my cat trying to get in my wardrobe. No, come on, get down. Sorry. Right, yeah, so we have help, and also that the planet is holding us, okay, and is providing a tremendous surge of powerful, hopeful, creative energy. And I think that many of us feel that it's palpable when we ground, you know, that positivity, that encouragement. Yeah. So from a practical point of view, you know, allow the revelation, allow the big reveals, acknowledge them. Okay, whatever the lesson is, whatever the karma is, you know, the story is behind all of these things, acknowledge that. Yeah, don't push it away, acknowledge. And then let it go. Release attachment, because it's not your truth anymore. All right? And focus on the future of what we are each becoming. And sorry, I'm just reading my writing. I write down the messages they give. So, yeah, and because this is all sort of happening at an extraordinary pace, then, and of course, ground, because then we can take advantage and be blessed by the energy that the planet, Mother Earth, is providing, right? That encouraging energy. So yeah, they said don't get bogged down in all the darkness and negativity and the power struggles that are showing up, you know, or align with those that will choose not to heal, or those that will choose not to face up to those aspects of themselves within that need healing. And shifting. Those who refuse really to let go of their ego and the negative role that their ego may be playing. So yeah, and then they brought up a powerful word, and then this is a really loaded word for human beings, right? Revolution. So they said revolution is real change. And it happens within. It's within. The revolution is within. So the more we do the inner work, the more we bring in and hold greater quantities of light, the more of us doing that, the more untenable the position of darker energies becomes, which eventually they will simply become inoperable, no longer working, and therefore eventually leave. Okay. So one by one, we do this until the power of the light and the higher frequencies is so overwhelming that it creates and it brings about a new external reality on Earth. Okay? That's the revolution. And it's a peaceful revolution. They said it's a loving revolution. And it is the most powerful revolution that this planet has ever seen. That said, the vibration of truth and clarity means that there is an urge to say no. Okay, so as we come into our truth about who we are and clarity about what isn't us, what we don't need to hold on to, we can let go, clear, and all of that. As that happens, there is this urge coming up to say no to whatever doesn't match the new frequency that we're holding and is not loving. So they said this will play out in coming years as the realization of what is love and what isn't love builds momentum in our heart spaces. And what will manifest as a result is an evolution of the race based on the difference between living as a collective in a mind-centered way and living as a collective that is heart-centered. All right. So, and they said that is where the revolution really starts to gain traction then in our hearts. Yeah. So what your hearts know to be your true identity and what your heart wishes to embody is love. And that's the driving force behind the revolution, which is why they said, you know, it's about love. And it's about, I'm just looking back. yeah, it's a loving revolution. It's a peaceful revolution. Okay. And okay, just to begin. Yeah, and they're just saying, remember, the word no is not a violent word. Okay, the word no is not a violent word. So when you say no to what is no longer your truth and your desire, be mindful. No is not a word of judgment. It's a statement of will. It's a word of inner truth. It's a word of honor. And it's a word of respect. It need not be accompanied by actions of vengeance, of control, or of harming others. This would not be revolution, this would be regression or continuation of the same. And to do so would be to fall into the same darkness that the light is here to expose and to replace. Okay. So be mindful when you say no, which you will, necessarily. And rightly. And this is why we use the word dismantle or dissolve rather than destroy when we talk about the revolution and evolution of your race and status quo on your planet. Yeah. Yes, dismantle or dissolve, not destroy, which is a violent word. Yes. So rather than focus on the external, focus on the internal, because that is what will shape your external. And the codes we wish to bring through today will be about the graceful power of peace. The power of a peace that is graceful. Yeah, okay, thank you. All right, so go into doing the codes. All right, good. So you don't need to do anything. If you haven't watched the videos before, simply relax and just let them wash over you. But do set your intention to receive, that's quite important. So just in your head, just say yes and set the intention to receive. All right. Elisekiotea neshia la sakaya. Indiolesi antistia la kaya riala. Indiusti untrialia sekiatisti. Engiania kuya niania sekia kia kuya. Enia sekia nia sela hai. Enia huya nia. Elia senia nia. Ele sekia nia shia nia. Ele sekia nia ye. Ekianiesti kayanesti kayantesti entakia nara. Ele sekiesti entra. Ekiesi, ekiata, niakieteste. Ekieste, kiatenti, reasti, estuisiesi kiata. Etisti. Estekuyanere, tisti etera. Ikiestukuyan kiesa kataka. Isia kayasta kiata. Eke kuyaniesti, iesikia, ekiaka, esiakiana, okuyonoko, ikiakia teasa, ekiatiste kuntian triatti kiasta keara, kikina sakakiara, ekiana kiasakaka, It's a queen kini aki nisse. Ikiana kaya este kaya neste kaya este kaya tiara. Este tiara. E ke a se o tu uiana e se ala. E se empa a no oia se a. Ia ena asia a. E ha. Isi oia na ese a e ne io su uyu I ne ese ea e ne este a ese o kuia ma apa na a na apa su uyu na e pa aha ese uyu no aya pa este pa aya na e pea o ne ise aya e uyu ma aya pa aya ese ea ea na a ia ya e se ea oia ea na a ba e ne a se ea bo ea ea ba e te e ba ba ya sa ele ali nesti ola ali te ara eni ala ya se ala eni oli ani ara ele asi ali atara ele ori ani ali ala e se ala ya tala eni ala yo lo ani ala se ala ele se ali atu ya la yatara ele ori ani ali ara ele ani ati ele ani ala esi ani ali ala ele ni te ali ya no yo le yana ele se andri ali ya ele se andri ali nara esi ko ya ne ara ele te andri ali ya ele ali nia ele ni ali nia ele ni ali nia ele ni ali nia ele ni ali nia ele oli ni te ali ele te ali ya Eliesse, Aleaniara. Good, lovely. All right, so good. Yeah, so just I don't know if well, I do know actually that quite a lot of you are feeling a sort of that building of momentum and sort of excitement behind the energies, which is really lovely. And we need that because at the same time as they've talked about today, we're also going through these other processes which are not the easiest thing to go through. So hold on to that excitement and that energy that around the corner is this newness that we're stepping into. And we're here. We wouldn't be here. We've said it before, I'll say it again. We wouldn't be here if we went up to the job or we didn't have a role to play. Okay, so the very fact that you are here as a human being right now on this planet means that you potentially have a role that you can choose to step into. Okay, yeah, so that's lovely. And of course, we're all here to support each other. And you can get in touch with me. Okay, to help with healing, to help with understanding your role or mentoring or whatever it is, any questions, all of that. You can visit my website. It's always best visited on a laptop. I think most glitches have been solved on the mobile version, but I'm not entirely sure. But anyway, you can look at my laptop, look at my website and get in touch with me on Facebook. You can also join the World Light Language group. Okay, if you're local to me in Norwich, Norfolk, I run workshops and various other things are going on, so you can get in touch with me about those. But yes, the next World Light Language group get together is on the 19th of May. Yeah, 19th of May, 11 a.m. GMT time, and it's for a couple of hours. So yeah, come along. It's really nice. It's just so nice and supportive, and lots to talk about and learn from each other. So yeah, good. Lots of love. Lots of love. Bye.